Everyone has an off day. Surprisingly, an Allstate agent can help. With accident forgiveness, they can make sure your rates don't go up just because of an accident. The good hands are doing more than ever before.
We have new dash cam video that landed that Pinellas Sheriff's deputy behind bars. The deputy said he was fighting for his life when he shot a handcuffed man at Johns Pass last month. He's now been charged with attempted murder. 10 News reporter Eric Glasser is digging deeper into the investigation and why the sheriff says the deputy's story just didn't add up.
Video released by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office shows two deputies arresting 26-year-old Dylan Tompkins Holmes early December 30th. Drunk, mouthy, and allegedly interfering with a sobriety test that deputies were performing on his girlfriend. Moments later, off camera, but audio still running, words are exchanged, and then Tompkins Holmes is shot twice by Deputy Tim Verdon, who claims Tompkins Holmes had grabbed his gun. But within 48 hours, the deputy's story of self-defense unravels.
So there's no evidence of any struggle. There's no evidence of anybody reaching for a gun.
Deputy Verdon claimed that Tompkins Holmes, whose hands were behind his back, whose pants had fallen down, and whose body was wedged against the back of Verdon's cruiser, was somehow able to grab his weapon. A struggle a second deputy standing just feet away said never occurred.
While handcuffed, do this, do this, do this, and then get the gun out. Didn't happen.
3 separate investigations all reached the same conclusion. On Wednesday, Verdon was charged with attempted manslaughter and fired from his job at Pinellas SO. At Johns Pass, where the shooting occurred, little sympathy.
Well, I mean, whoever it is, I mean, the truth should come out.
The guy has to pay for what he did, you know.
I believe that Tim Verdon is a good man and a deputy who dedicated his professional life to law enforcement. And by all accounts, up to this point, had an excellent performance record.
Meanwhile, Tompkins Holmes continues to recover. The charges against him dropped. While Sheriff Gualtieri says he does not believe that his department will be held civilly liable for the alleged criminal actions of one of his now former deputies, he says he has reached out to Tompkins Holmes' attorney, offering to pay the man's medical bills. In Madeira Beach, Eric Glasser, 10 News, WTSP.
Verdon is out on bond, and because of time, we could only show you a portion of that dash cam video and audio. We have posted the entire clip on our website, WTSP.com. Click Seen on TV.
Hi, Jan. Can I run something by you?
Sure.
Okay, imagine you're a customer. Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our 2-year, 25,000-mile maintenance program that includes 24-hour roadside assistance at no cost to you.
I'll take it.
That's weird. It's like you could hear us somehow.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, a 2-year, 25,000-mile maintenance program that includes 24-hour roadside assistance at no cost to you. Toyota, let's go places.
You're a pussy, bro. You're a pussy. You're a pussy, bro. You the softest bitch pussy there is. Get inside the car. You're a pussy. I'm trying to. You just threw me on the ground like a bitch. You threw me. Alright, now pick me. Pick me up. Pick me up. I'm trying to get inside the car. Can you stand up? I'm trying to, bro. You told me to talk like I'm a bitch. Stand up. I got my pants to the ground, bro. Stand up. Can you put your butt in the seat? my shorts on the ground, and you're doing me a fucking. You're a real man, bro. You're a real man, bro. You're a real man. You're a real man, bro. Let me tell you that. You're a real man, bro. You're a real man. Keep going. Keep going. Bro. Oh shit.
Clear to Charlie.
Go ahead.
We need fire rescue here. Shots have been fired.
10-4. Any other units?
Yeah, we need a supervisor.
Stay still. Don't move.
10-4.
Copy en route. Everyone 10-4 down there.
B51 1018, please.
Have rescue 51.
Copy.
Right here, copy.
Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri here this afternoon to announce the arrest of Deputy Tim Verdon on a charge of attempted manslaughter. On December 30th, 2015, at about 3:20 a.m., Deputy Verdon shot Dylan Tompkins Holmes after arresting him on a misdemeanor charge of obstructing. The arrest occurred as a result of a traffic stop in Johns Pass Village at Village Boulevard and 129th Avenue East in Madeira Beach. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office Robbery Homicide Unit conducted an investigation of the shooting. Our investigation determined that Deputy Verdon was not justified in shooting Tompkins Holmes. Deputy Verdon violated state law and committed the crime of attempted manslaughter when he shot Dylan. The Sheriff's Office Use of Deadly Force Review Board conducted its own independent review of the shooting and also determined that the shooting was not justified under law or agency policy. The case was referred to the Pinellas State Attorney's Office, and the State Attorney conducted his own independent investigation. The State Attorney also concluded that Deputy Verdon's shooting of Tompkins Holmes violated state law and that Deputy Verdon committed the offense of attempted manslaughter. The matter was presented to a Pinellas Pasco Circuit judge yesterday who found probable cause to charge Deputy Verdon with one count of attempted manslaughter. The judge issued a warrant for Deputy Verdon's arrest, and Deputy Verdon turned himself in this morning at the Pinellas County Jail. He was booked and released after posting bond. As a result, I have terminated Deputy Verdon's employment with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. This is especially hard as I believe that Tim Verdon is a good man and a deputy who dedicated his professional life to law enforcement, and by all accounts, up to this point, had an excellent performance record. However, sometimes even good people do things wrong. When we do something wrong, we have to accept responsibility, no matter how bad or difficult that may be. And sometimes there are very serious consequences for our errors, and we have to accept that. In this case, Deputy Verdon acted contrary to law and policy and did not accept responsibility for his actions. Rather, he fabricated facts to justify the unjustifiable, and in doing so stooped to that which he is supposed to stand against as a law enforcement officer. And he made the situation worse than it ever would have been had he just owned up to his actions. Instead of explaining what actually happened, Deputy Verdon made up facts that simply could not have occurred and are wholly inconsistent with the physical evidence and the eyewitness testimony of another deputy. Deputy Verdon shot Tompkins Holmes while he was unarmed and handcuffed behind his back. It is clearly established that Tompkins Holmes was unarmed and not a threat because Deputy Verdon searched him and handcuffed him, which is captured on video. An audio recording and the eyewitness testimony of another deputy, Deputy Tom Randall, established that Tompkins Holmes offered no active resistance to Deputy Verdon and that he never touched Deputy Verdon's gun. Moreover, when Deputy Verdon shot Tompkins Holmes, as established by Deputy Verdon's own statements, the only gun was the one completely in the hands of Deputy Verdon, and Tompkins Holmes was handcuffed behind his back at the time he was shot. At this point, I'm going to play for you a video. And this is video that is looking out from the dashboard camera of Deputy Verdon's cruiser. And what you'll see in the video is Deputy Verdon and Deputy Randall up by the car that Tompkins Holmes was in after he had been arrested on an obstructing charge. They're handcuffing him, searching him, and then they walk him back to Deputy Verdon's cruiser. Because the camera is facing, which would be west, out of the dashboard of Deputy Verdon's cruiser, once they pass the front of the cruiser, you don't see anything else. But the entire incident, including the shooting, is captured on the audio. Deputy Verdon had left his microphone pack for the system that we use in the cruiser, so the microphone was in the cruiser. There is no video of the actual shooting itself, but there is an audio tape, and so I'm going to play for you now the audio tape and the video, and then I'll continue with the comments. So, Kristen, will you play it?
I'm trying to. You just threw me on the ground with a bitch. You threw me, I'm trying to get inside the car. Can you stand up? I'm trying to, bro. You threw me in the car with a bitch. Stand up. I got my pants to the ground, bro. Stand up. Where's your butt in the seat? My foot's on the ground. You ain't doing me a pussy. You're a real man, yo. You're a real man, yo. You're a real man. You're a real man, yo. Let me tell you that. You're a real man, yo. You're a real man. Keep going. Keep going. Go. Oh! Yes.
Okay, you can stop.